probably won't get done now since I'm so behind. Thanks a lot, Kubota. Welcome back to the Sawmill, friends. Before I show you guys what we're working on today, which is probably already pretty obvious, let me show you the cedar project that I worked on in the past video. I finished it off camera and I think it turned out pretty good. I was going to video this, but guys, I don't think it would have been very entertaining, to be honest with you. All I did was mount the hose reel right there to the post. I did put some Odie's oil on this cedar right here. Feel how smooth that is. You guys feel how smooth that is? Put your hand right there. You feel that? Man, that's smooth. That planer does a great job. But anyways, I put some Odie's oil on there. There's the conduit. Ran some EMT over here. Got an outlet right there. And that outlet is for this little reel right there. If I need more power. And it went on down to the floor, and that plugs in the air compressor. Worked out pretty good. A nice little project. I think this wall right here looks really nice. I added a shelf up there. And I started hanging some more of my metal signs. You can see the conduit right there. I used that, what's that stuff called? That cable. I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, I used that cable up there where it was out of sight, out of mind, kinda. I went to a box right there. And that's where I started my conduit. And the reason I put a junction box up there is because I'll come out of that junction box and go somewhere else, because this right here does not pull a lot of amps. I think this compressor maybe pulls 7 amps or something like that, and I pulled a number 12 wire, so we got a lot of power left on that breaker. But this right here, guys, looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. What do y'all think? Leave me a comment below what you would have done different. I'm sure somebody out there would have done something different maybe. I think this turned out really good. So moving on to what we're working on today, it's time to cut some hay. That rhymed, didn't it? I didn't mean for that to happen. Let me show you. So step number 1 in cutting hay is we got to mow it down. We'll be using the Kubota today. This is a M7060. I bought this right after Thanksgiving, I believe. It's only got 20 hours on it. This will be the first real use I get out of this tractor as far as testing it out. And we're using a hay mower that I bought about 2 months ago. Used for 1 season by the previous owner, then unfortunately he passed away. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm really excited about this. It takes a 9-foot, 4-inch cut. The mower I used last year took about a 5-foot cut, so it should really reduce the time it takes me to mow this hay down. It's a Kuhn, K-U-H-N. The model number is 280, and it's a Haas. And if you guys will remind me, I need to tension up the belt right there before we start mowing. Everything's greased up though, it's ready to go. This right here did not come with the mower if you buy one of those. This is a hay disc mower caddy. I think I'm saying it right. A hay disc mower caddy. That's what the manual said. A disc mower caddy would be a lot simpler to say. But this thing right here, friends, makes hooking up that mower so much easier. Instead of backing up to this mower and putting all these right here on your 3-point hitch, all these arms and your top link, all you got to do is back up to this caddy and drop you a pin right there in the drawbar, hook up your hydraulics, and your PTO, and also this cord right here. That's a manual cord that you pull to release the latch when you want to lower that part down. But anyways, I bought this as a set right here, but I think you can buy these caddies for around $5,000. This one's made in Oklahoma. And I've hooked up mowers to the back of tractors, and I'll tell you what, guys, sometimes it's a fight. This right here made it so much simpler. Really glad to have this, but I've never used one of these before in addition to a disc mower, so we're going to be learning today how this thing pulls and how it does. According to the manual, it takes an 18mm socket to tighten that belt up. So this right here should be pretty simple, famous last words. Instead of measuring the deflection on the belt, Kuhn says you tighten this up right here until this washer puts this right here against it. It should be pretty simple. The reason it's loose is because they say, of course, loosen it up after hay season. All right, I got that tightened up. The manual says just to tighten it until this right here all pushes together. Feels pretty tight. They make a special tool for this, but it's missing. It should be in that drawer right there. I don't see it in there. So, in case we need to tighten this or loosen the belt, we'll take this with us. Fits in there just perfect. Grab our leaf blower in case we need to blow out the radiator. And one last step here and we'll get going. Clean this windshield off. It's filthy. Right there it is, guys. The best glass cleaner you will ever buy. I'll leave a link down below. I buy this on Amazon, not sponsored. I use this stuff for everything. So guys, while I'm doing this, go grab you a cup of coffee and I will see you guys out in the field. All right, guys, we're now going to use the New Holland because the Kubota does not have the float mode. According to the manual, it's supposed to have it, but my buddy Richard came over to help me, and we couldn't figure it out. I had called Kubota, and they told us that one right there did not have the float mode based on the description of the blots on the rear hydraulics. So therefore, I'm going to change hats. I'm wearing a Kubota hat because it looks like we're going to be using the New Holland. I'm not sure if this tractor has float either. We're going to find out. All right, I've got two levers. I'm not sure which one goes to which. Okay, that's the caddy right there. Here's the mower. All right, it went up. Let's see if it goes down. All right, it's down. It's floating. Yep. No. It's probably got detent on that other one. All right, guys, got this Kubota pulled out of the way. Let me show you guys those hydraulic blots on the back right here. But first, I need to change hats. All right, guys, like I said earlier, I bought this tractor last year. It came with 2 sets of rear remotes, which means you have 4 of those right there. And one of these, according to the dealer and also according to the manual, should have had float on it, but it didn't. So after me and Richard spent about an hour down here trying every one of these, looking at the manual, reading stuff online, asking ChatGPT, everything you could think of, we finally called a Kubota dealer and got a mechanic on the phone, and he said if you have a float valve on your rear hydraulics, it's in the shape of a circle right here on the side. He said if you have 2 squares, you got detent, which you can run a backhoe or something like that, but you don't have the float mode on these. So we don't have the right block right here. But the good news is he said you can change this part out and not the entire valve. But luckily, I bought that New Holland a few weeks ago and it had float on both the remotes, thank goodness. All right, friends, I went ahead and got started without you. I made my first cut right here. Just making sure the mower is set up right. I had to adjust the tompolite just a little, but it's mowing pretty good. Like I said, just over 9 feet on the width. I made a pass all the way down there to the bottom creek. I came all the way up down here. And I stopped right there because I need diesel for that tractor. I didn't fill it up this morning because I didn't plan on using the New Holland today. But anyways, guys, it's cutting really good after those adjustments. Got some real good stuff right there. It's pretty dry already. Shouldn't take it too long to dry out. It's supposed to be really hot this weekend. Should have a really good hay crop this year off the first cutting. Now here at our little farm, we cut hay twice a year. This is my 3rd year here owning this farm and cutting the hay. And usually I don't cut it till after the 1st of June. This is the earliest I've ever cut it this year. We have had some dry conditions, and you guys know that because I've complained about it on more videos than I probably should have, but I was really early on fertilizing this year. I put my fertilizer out 2 weeks before Easter, and we got a lot of rain around Easter. And that kind of helped this field out right here. Wasn't for that, I probably wouldn't be cutting right now. So in the tractor, we're gonna get this field right here knocked out. It's my largest field. This one right here. Of course, the boundary is the creek right down through there and those houses over there. This right here is about 8 acres. This is my largest field I cut here. So guys, let's jump in the tractor and go get the truck and fill up that tractor. I should have just enough diesel left in that transfer tank to fill up the New Holland. And luckily, I bought that diesel way before the prices went up. I'm sorry, I don't have nothing right now. I apologize. I'll get you something later, I promise. So the plan is, I'm gonna mow hay for the rest of the day. My goodness, I'm full of rhymes today, aren't I? I should be a rapper. So anyways, I'm going to mow that hay crop until it gets dark. I probably won't get done now since I'm so behind. Thanks a lot, Kubota. But anyways, trying to change gears here with one arm is not fun. But anyways, we'll come back in the morning and I'll keep this video going, I'm sure. And we'll finish mowing. We'll let that set for a couple of hours and then we'll come out here with the tedder. And I think I'll put the tedder on the Kubota and we'll ted everything up. Then I'll let it dry on Sunday, probably all day long. Hopefully it doesn't rain. It's not supposed to, but you never know. And Monday, as long as it's dried out good enough, we'll come out here and do our windrows and hopefully put the hay up by Monday evening. That's the plan. I'm hoping this is long enough. Yep, should be good. Well, that wasn't enough to fill it up, but hopefully that would get us through the day. I tell you what, it's been one of those days for me. I tell you what, friends, I'll be tickled to death when these fuel prices go down. Yesterday for diesel in my truck, $5.25 a gallon. Man, it's high. Farm diesel's not much cheaper. It's about 50 cents cheaper in my area. So, you know, $4.75. It should be about $3 for farm diesel. I sure do wish it would go down. I tell you what, I bet people will be charging more for hay this year. Cattle prices are up. Fuel prices are up. Might as well. Everybody else is getting some more money for their commodity. We might as well get some more for ours. And guys, real fast, one of you all please remind me, I will show you this new hay rake here toward the end of the video, or maybe toward the end of the day, whichever comes first. I picked this up yesterday. It's new to me. Of course, it's not brand new. Pretty cool story behind it. You guys just remind me and we'll talk about it here in a little while. All right, let's get back to mowing hay. And did I mention I'm out of coffee? My goodness. All right, friends, I am done for the day as far as cutting hay goes. I was hoping to get this field done, but I got a little bit left over here. I got about 3/4 of it done. Not too bad though. So far, really happy with this mower. I just gotta get used to taking these turns right here. With this dolly hooked up to it, you gotta go a little bit wider, but we'll get there. And it done a really good job mowing up the hay crop right here. Some real good stuff right there. Still pretty wet. Hopefully about 2 days from now we'll get this dry enough to bale. And also, I need to explain something here real fast. I talked about that float valve earlier that the New Holland has, but the Kubota does not. Let me show you exactly what that is. So this attachment has a hydraulic cylinder right there that raises and lowers this part of the mower, of course. And if you don't have a float valve, you can lower this, but it's going to stop where you lower it. Like if that's a regular hydraulic valve, like the Kubota has, unfortunately, I could bring this down, but it will stay in a fixed position. With a float valve, it kind of does what it says. It floats. So you put it in float mode on the controller inside the tractor. You lower this down. Then you hit the controller. I'm sorry, you got to lower it first. Hit the float valve controller, and it lets this attachment right here, or the deck of the mower, float up and down with the contour of the ground. It works really good, and it keeps you from scalping and digging into the high spots, and also keeps you from not mowing the low spots. You gotta have a float valve with a mower like this. And also, that's the first real test, or real working load, I guess you would call it, that we've had the New Holland under since we bought it about 4 or 5 weeks ago. And I tell you what, that's a nice tractor. It's really smooth. It's got an air ride seat. Changes gears really nice. You don't have to fight it or nothing like that. A really nice tractor. And it has a really cool feature right here that I found out today. So if you think about it, when you're mowing, especially when you're mowing hay, you're sitting right there and you're looking over your right shoulder to watch the mower back there. That seat right there tilts this way, so you don't have to turn your back. You know, you don't have to twist as much. That sounds a lot better to see the mower back there. A really nice feature. I didn't know that tractor even had it. And right here's what I was talking about as far as getting used to that dolly. I was making my turn right here, and you can see I missed some crop right there. And also some more right there, but that's okay. We'll get that tomorrow. I'll get better with that mower, and I'll get better on my turns. And gosh, there's some more over there as well. I need to quit pointing this out. I'm supposed to be a pro. Forget that you saw that over there. All right, guys, sorry for the short video, but sometimes that's all you can do, to be honest with you. Sometimes things happen around here, and you can't video everything you want to show because you got to get stuff done. So in closing here, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you back here tomorrow.